camera to buy another one. Buy this from me. I went, how much? $20. So for $20, I bought this Nikon camera. And I run over to Ian MacKaye's house. You know Ian from Fugazi. He's my best friend since we were 12. So I run to Ian's house. I go, Ian, I got a camera. We're going to become photographers. They're like, let's go and spend your money at the drugstore and buy some film. Because he was a deadbeat. He never worked. I'm always the one who had the job. So we bought a couple of rolls of film. And we knew enough to wind it into the camera. And we started becoming photographers. And we found out one of Ian's mom's friends had a darkroom in his apartment, and he taught us how to develop our own photos. So we became like amateur, not so good photographers. And we're just these two young idiots in a city. We have nothing to take photos of but each other. And so this is me taking a photo of Ian. That's Ian MacKaye on the church ramp. I'm sure you've heard about it. At Wisconsin and Calvert in Northwest Washington, D.C., 1976 or thereabouts, catching a front side. And to this day, I have no memory at all of how I got that POV. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm standing up on the ramp holding the camera over my head, but that's Ian. He should have had more protection and a helmet, because this ramp, this is like volume 4 of this ramp. That's all stolen wood. We would go to construction sites like 1 in the morning and steal hundreds of dollars worth of wood, skating down the street like two guys holding sheets of plywood, thinking no cop will ever think anything suspicious. They must be on their way to Sunday school. We go down the street and we build these ramps and get kicked out of parking lots. So we'd have to break the ramp into pieces, carry it like Thor Heyerdahl carrying Kon-Tiki to the sea. A bit of an obscure reference, thank you for acknowledging. And we would store the broken ramp in Ian's mom's garage. And she would get pissed off and kick the ramp out of her garage. So we'd have to rebuild it in a different parking lot every summer. And so as the summers would go by, the ramp became more and more destroyed. And so the first summer was, by summer 4, it was all smashed apart. And you see that transition at the bottom? If your wheels hit that transition just right, the wheels would lock up, and suddenly you're sailing through the air, and like a stone skipping over the surface of a lake. That would you be like, and you'd smell this weird smell. That was your hair and your thigh burning off of your body. I left so much DNA in this parking lot because I wasn't a very good skateboarder, but Ian caught me, my one moment where I actually pulled off a one-wheel backside. And you see those Vans that I'm wearing? That's back in the day to get Vans. Now they throw them at your head. But back in my day, you would actually call the Vans store from the phone number from the back of Skateboarder magazine. And a woman would enter, "Good morning, Vans. Hi, I'm a young guy on the East Coast and I want high top red Vans, size 10.5. How much? $9. Okay. How much in postage? $3. Okay. Would you take a money order from 7-Eleven made out in pencil? You will? Okay. How long will the shoes take to arrive? 9 months. Okay, thank you very much. And you'd order shoes in September, and they would arrive in April. And that's why you took very good care of them, because by the time you got your second pair of Vans, you didn't even want to skateboard anymore. You had a job and you had no time for it. So whenever we had Vans, we would just walk very carefully with them, because it would take you 9 years to get another pair. And so that's kind of almost the end of this show. But many years ago, just one last idea. Many years ago, I was young and angry. Now I'm pushing 60 and angry. And one of the main things that made me angry was I realized I was a total maniac, and I was going to be in normal jobs with normal people for the rest of my life, and I realized I was not going to be able to handle that. And every once in a while, I'd see this band called Black Flag, and I'd look at them, I'd watch them play, and I hated it. I hated it so much. I hated their music because I liked the music so much. And I look at the singer, I'm like, I want your job. Like, you are a bunch of maniacs. I should be with you guys. And at one point, Black Flag was holding auditions for singer. And they called me, they said, because they knew me, and they said, "You're a psycho. You want to audition for Black Flag?" And I was working at Haagen-Dazs, scooping ice cream at that time. And I looked down at my chocolate-covered apron and my scoop, and I realized I could live my entire life working at this place, or I could take all the courage I didn't have and audition for my favorite band. And I did. I went up to New York on a train, and I meet Black Flag at a practice place, and I go, "What are we gonna do?" They said, "We're gonna play every song we know twice, and you're gonna sing as best you can." I said, "I don't know the words." They go, "Don't let that stop you." And so I just jumped up and down and howled for an hour and a half. And they had a band meeting, And they come back out, they go, "You're in." I said, "In what?" They go, "In Black Flag." I said, "Doing what?" "Singing." "Me?" "Yes." "Doing what?" "Singing." "You?" "Yeah." You went around and around, so I was in disbelief. I said, "So what do I do?" They said, "You leave. Take these lyrics, and here's the tour itinerary. You go home, give all your stuff away, quit your job, pack a duffel bag, kiss your little mommy goodbye, and meet us on the road." And so I was stunned. I'm like, "I'm the singer in Black Flag." They said, "Do you want the job or not?" I said, "Yes." But wait a minute. This took less than 2 hours, and I'm like, "Go." And so I got back on the train down to DC, quit my job, gave all my stuff away, and I called Ian MacKaye. I said, "Ian," he said, "Where have you been?" I said, I was up in New York. I auditioned for Black Flag. I'm leaving." He goes, "When?" I said, "As soon as you can take me to the bus station." And so Ian took me to the Greyhound bus station, and I still have the bus ticket. I said, "Ian, what do you think?" He said, "Are you kidding? You're gonna be great. Go." And I got on this overnight bus to Detroit, Michigan, and I walked into the venue, and I beat the band there, and there's a woman behind the bar. And she said, "May I help you?" I said, "Yes, ma'am. I'm the singer in Black Flag." Not even believing what I was saying. She said, "Would you like something to drink?" I said, "I'll have a Coke, please." And she gave me the Coke that's all syrup, no bubbles, with 1 ice cube at the top. It tastes awful, but it was free. And I'm thinking, free drinks? I'm a rock star. Check me out. And so that's how I became the singer in Black Flag. I just leapt, because I realized I was 20 and I had nothing to lose. And I'm not a brave person, but on that day, I was brave, because I really wanted to be in that band. So I think of that audition almost every day, because it changed my life. I'm just a lucky guy. And so I think of that day, but I can't remember what it looked like. And a couple of years ago, Spot, the legendary producer who produced Black Flag, he wrote me, and he said, "I'm working on my photo book." Spot always had a camera. And he said, "Remember the day you auditioned for Black Flag?" And I do. And he said, "I was there." And I remember, Spot was there. He said, "I was there with my camera. Look at the attachment. And this is it." And so this was a memory I had for like almost 30 years, or more than 30 years, like just this hazy memory of being in this room. But I couldn't remember the shape of the room or what it looked like. And then thankfully Spot had a photo. And that's when it really hit me, the importance of bringing a camera. I don't think you need to document every moment of your life, but every once in a while, a photograph is a great way to jog the memory. And there I am, 150 pounds of nerves and anger, singing, well, yelling my ass off, trying to be in this band. And so I wrote Spot. I said, "Spot, I'm about to leave on this tour, showing photographs. I want to end the show with the photograph that you took of me. Can I do that?" And he said, "As long as you spell my name right." Ha ha ha. S-P-O-T, Spot. And so this photo is what basically got me here. And so all I am is lucky and grateful. I have been talking to you at a high rate of speed for 2 hours and 40 minutes. I know it feels like 4 hours and 40 minutes. How you withstand me every other year or so, I have no idea. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Good night.